When I bought my dream home in the heart of a quiet neighborhood, I expected peace, not chaos, especially not from the very HOA that claimed to protect property values. But from the moment I moved in, Karen, the self appointed enforcer of everything from mailbox alignment to trash bin colors, decided I was her new target. I'd barely unpacked when she began stopping by unannounced, offering unsolicited design advice about my lawn, my door color, and most recently my interior walls. Yes, interior. She said, the neutral gray I chose didn't reflect the community's warmth. I laughed it off, thinking it was just another one of her obsessive, overreaching antics, until I came home one afternoon and stepped into a nightmare. My living room walls were no longer gray, but a hideous mix of beige and yellow with mismatched brush strokes and paint still drying. Furniture had been moved, paint cans sat open, and worst of all, the finish on my expensive hardwood floors had paint splatter across them. I was stunned. Karen stood proudly by the hallway, arms crossed, saying she'd taken the liberty to get the job done because the HOA had already approved it. I told her she had 5 seconds to leave before I called the police, and I did. An officer arrived, took one look, and couldn't believe what he was hearing. Karen admitted she'd used her spare key, given to the HOA for emergencies, to enter my home while I was at work. She called it a community improvement project. I called it criminal trespassing and property damage. After consulting my attorney, I filed a formal complaint and we demanded restitution. The forensic damage report came back worse than I expected. Specialty wallpaper had been torn off in the guest room, custom molding had been sanded down, and parts of the drywall had been damaged beyond patching. The restoration estimate totaled nearly $50,000. Karen tried to argue it was a voluntary enhancement and should be covered by the HOA, but the court disagreed. She was found liable for all damages and fined personally. The judge didn't even hide his disdain, calling it the most entitled violation of private space he'd ever seen. She tried to appeal but failed, and to this day, she's been removed from the HOA board entirely. As for me, my walls are back to the color I chose, calm, elegant gray, and my locks have been changed. But now everyone in the neighborhood knows one thing. When Karen says she's just trying to help, you'd better double-check your front door.